戻ってきたぞ。あいつのいるこの場所に。ナギ、待たせた。いや、全然来ると思ってた。決めろよゴール。お前はこんなもんじゃないだろ。うん、知ってる。勝たなきゃ全部終わるんだ。俺たちはまだここで終わるには早すぎる。うん。
Following my recent video on Nagi, I dug deep into why he lost, why he got eliminated, and everything seemed to trace back to one person. The one person who introduced him to football in the first place, Ryo. Now let's be clear, Ryo had good intentions. He simply wanted to reach the top of the world with his best friend. But that's the problem. Good intentions don't guarantee growth or success. Because success doesn't care about happy endings. It's ruthless, it's harsh, but in the end, it's always there. It's completely indifferent to how pure your motivations are. And Blue Lock exposed that. Looking at Ryo across the series, it's clear he was an emotional crutch for Nagi. From dominating as a duo in the first election, to the moment Nagi chose Isagi and left him behind, to their reunion at Manshine, trying to recapture what they once had, to their shared downfall in the Neo Egoist League, where this time, Nagi was the one left behind. It's fascinating how two people who barely knew each other before Blue Lock became so codependent, even though they were always stronger apart. And that's what I want to explore in today's video. From the start, Ego saw right through Nagi, and by extension, Ryo. They were never going to thrive in Blue Lock, not when their partnership stood in direct opposition to what Ego was trying to create. Strikers with ruthless, unshakable egos. In this world, conventional teamwork wouldn't be a strength, but a limitation. During the first election, Nagi and Ryo dominated because the pressure hadn't yet forced players to develop strong egos individually. But as the challenges got tougher and egos started to emerge, they lost their edge. And Nagi could feel the shift, but Ryo didn't want to let go. Nagi did make the right call. He chose to move forward. And through separation, it helped both of them grow. Nagi evolved through experiences with Isagi, and Ryo, who was forced to stand on his own, developed the chameleon technique, one of the most versatile and powerful weapons in Blue Lock. They became their best selves apart. But the foundation was shaky. Nagi's ego was never fully independent, while Ryo experienced the loneliness of having to move forward alone and grew from it. Nagi always had that safety net of knowing Ryo was there. So when Nagi finally beat Isagi, he felt like he had arrived, but he hadn't built anything sustainable on his own. And Ryo, who had finally grown into his own player, now had more to stand on than Nagi. After Nagi's back-to-back losses to Baron Rin, he looked for advice each time. And this is why I want to really highlight Barrow, because Barrow told him exactly what he needed to hear, that he had to return to zero. wipe the slate clean, and rebuild from nothing. Like Barrow did in the second selection, 3v3. The wild thing is, Nagi never asked Rayo for advice. Even though Rayo went through the same thing. He was abandoned and he had to return to zero. But he never gave Nagi that advice. And I question, why? And that is the core of this video. I think Rayo knew what Nagi needed. Deep down, he knew, but he didn't say it. Not because he wanted to control Nagi or had ill feelings, but because he was scared. Scared Nagi would leave him again. Scared of being left behind. So he stayed quiet, hoping the magic of the old dynamic, that super goal, would come back. But like a matchstick that has already been lit and has burnt out, never to be relit again, it was not coming back. And I, for one, call this selfish. Because this is real life for so many people. Dreams fade, not just because we lack talent or opportunity, but because of the people around us. The ones who don't push us when we need it the most. Let me be clear. Having a strong support network is a good thing. But don't confuse support with growth. The people who love you aren't always the ones who will tell you what you need to hear. And sometimes, the harsh truth from a stranger will help you more than 1,000 "you've got this" from a friend. Rayo had so many chances to say what needed to be said, but he didn't. Even in the final game, when Nagi looked like he finally steeled his resolve, it was Rayo who dragged him back down. Not out of cruelty, but out of fear. He put the nail in the coffin of Nagi's evolution, but Rayo didn't want to feel left behind again. I get that, I really do, but for me, this really exposed Rayo for who he truly was. The bitterness, the jealousy, the resentment, it was there in his interactions with Agi, who generally tried to help him grow. I get that, I really do, but it's why he failed Nagi. And it really exposed Rayo for his true nature. Shown in interactions with Agi, who generally tried to help Nagi grow. It was also there in the way he looked at Isagi, who he believed stole Nagi from him. Agi told Nagi what Rayo should have. Focus on yourself, become your own player. But Rayo couldn't say that, because deep down, he still needed to feel needed. And the easiest way to do that is keep the other person dependent on you. But that's not what a real friend does. A real friend forces you to grow, even if it means you outgrow them. And that's why Nagi grew the most with Isagi. Because Isagi didn't coddle him. He challenged him. There was mutual respect, competition, and pressure to evolve. And Rayo couldn't offer that. Not because he was weak, but because he saw himself in Nagi's shadow. That inferiority made it impossible to push him forward. So as I close out this video, I want to leave you with this. Be careful who you surround yourself with. Are they helping you grow or keeping you stagnant? Do they challenge you to improve or keep you small so you don't pass them? That difference is the fine margin between failure and success. Have you ever had a friend like Rayo? Someone who wanted the best for you but held you back without meaning to? Let me know down in the comments below. and follow for more breakdowns like this every week. This has been Blessed Visions. We break anime down in what makes you think, what makes you feel, and what helps you grow. Please like, comment, and subscribe. We're trying to reach 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I know we can do it. Thank you again. Ciao.
は？あれは俺の動き。99% コピー成功。これがこの試合での俺の役割。カメレオンディフェンス。いいよレオ、かっこいい。俺がこの力でシドを殺す。